Om Namah Shivaya. Episode 54, Chapter 10, verses 32 to 37. Wherever there is excellence, that is Isvara's glories. Part 2. Verse 32. First, Sri Krishna says, O Arjuna, I am indeed the beginning, middle, and end of the creation. Sarganam adi antascha madhyam cha eva aham Arjuna. In any activity, three actions are important. First, the act of creation. Second, the act of sustenance. And third, the act of destruction. Or it can be put in another way. First, we must make a decision to do an action. We must have the sankalpa. Second, we must do the action, kriya. We must put it into action. And third, the result we must be able to take. So these three acts are all Isvara's glories. Second, among the disciplines of knowledge, the knowledge of Isvara is the knowledge of Atma. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyana. Only the knowledge of Brahman will reveal the nature of Atma. And once we discover this truth, it will remove our ignorance. Then we will not identify ourselves with this body, mind, senses, but as a Chit Ananda Atma. Third, among those who discuss the knowledge of Brahman, Isvara is the discussion we discuss. Vada pravadatam aham. In this discussion, we can participate in this discussion or be just a listener. But we must know the purpose of this discussion is to discover who we truly are. Verse 33 states, first, among the letters, Isvara is the glory of the letter A. Aksharanam akara asmi. The first sound is A, and from that sound, the modification of all sounds have come about in all languages and dialect. And the glory of A is Isvara's glory. Isvara, being all-pervasive, causes our voice box to emanate sound. And the greatest musical instrument is the human voice. Second, in Sanskrit, compounds are formed by rules. And Isvara's glory is the glory of compounds. Dvandva samasikasya cha. The first example of a compound is Arsha Vidya, knowledge born of the rishis. It belongs to no one in particular. Second example is the compound Kata Aksha, a side glance through the corner of the eye. Isvara's side glance is like the ray of the sun. It not only lights up, but also dries up our entire ocean of ignorance and delusion to end this endless cycle of birth and death. We are not asking Isvara for a direct look. Even a side glance is enough, provided we have surrendered to Isvara. Namaskritanam. Third, Isvara is the perennially eternal time. Aham eva akshaya kala. In Param Atma, there is no time, But from Prakriti onwards, time is perennially eternal. In time, creation, sustenance, and dissolution takes place. Even in Pralaya or Mahapralaya, time is perennially eternal. So from Prakriti standpoint, time is perennially eternal. From Paramatma standpoint, there is no time. Fourth, Isvara is the all-pervasive giver. Aham Vishvotu Mukha Data. Isvara is the law of karma, who ordains the result of our action according to our intention. Isvara being all-pervasive, no things can take place outside the vision of Isvara. And when we can appreciate the object given as Isvara's prasadam, we are connecting to Isvara's glories, to Atma, and we discover that the glories of Isvara's are also our glories, the glories of the Atma within. Verse 34 states, first, Isvara is death that takes away everything. Mrityu sarva haracha aham. Here death is spoken from the total dissolution of the entire creation at Pralaya. It is Lord Rudra who takes away everything, and Lord Rudra is not separate from Isvara. Second, Isvara is the cause of prosperity of those yet to be. Udbhavacha bhavishyata. Even the punyas we think we have gathered is due to Isvara's glories. And these punyas will give us prosperity, also due to Isvara's glories. Third, among the words in the feminine gender, cha narina, Isvara is number one, kirti, fame. Whatever fame we have is Isvara's. Number two is Shri. Whatever we have gathered in terms of knowledge and wealth is Isvara's glory. Three is Vak, our ability to speak the truth, what is beneficial and pleasant is Isvara's glory. Four is Meda, our ability to receive and retain information, our intelligence is Isvara's glory. 5. Smriti, memory. When we have intelligence, we have memory. It is Isvara's glory. 6. Dhriti, courage, fortitude is Isvara's glory. And 7 is Shama, equanimity, able to remain undisturbed in both pleasant and unpleasant situation. And Isvara has all this in absolute measure. And the Atma within also has all these qualities in absolute measure. Verse 35 states, first, so too the Samaveda mantras are chanted in different style. Some are more difficult, while some are more melodious than others. These mantras with their style are all Isvara's glories. Brahat, Sama, Tata, Samna. Second, these mantras are chanted in different meters, and among the meters, Isvara's glory is the Gayatri mantra. Gayatri Chandasam Aham. Because the meaning of this mantra reveals the entire Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman. This chant begins with Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, that Isvara's self-effulgence, all pervasiveness, pervades the entire three worlds, the gross, the subtle, and the unmanifest state. This mantra is chanted in 3 padas, 8 letters each, total 24 letters. The first pada is Tat Sa Vi Tur Va Re Ni Yam. Second, Bhargo De Vasya Dhimahi. Third pada, Diyo Yo Na Prachodayat. By contemplating upon the meaning of this mantra, that Isvara is most worshipful, self-effulgence, all-knowing, this mantra, like the brilliance of the sun's ray, illumines our mind, dries up our entire ocean of self-ignorance without leaving any taint of darkness to identify ourselves as Satchit Ananda Atma. Third, among the months, November and December are Isvara's glories. Masanam Marga Shirsha Aham. At the end of the year, the southern solstice comes to an end. And during this month, the sun moves towards the house of the Capricorn. And Isvara's glories make these months astrologically conducive for religious activities. Fourth, among the seasons, Isvara's glories are easily seen in spring, where the trees and plants blossom. Rituna Kusumakara. Spring is also recommended by the Vedas to do fire rituals. In verse 36, Sri Krishna says, first, in the game of dice, it is Isvara's glory that deceives us. Dyutam Asmi Chala Yatam. In everything under Prakriti, there is an element of deception that makes us incur loss. Our Vedas prohibit us from playing the game of dice, to teach us to have mastery over our desires against quick result. And if we fail to follow, Isvara's glory will deceive us to lose everything. Second, Isvara's glory is the brilliance of the people who have brilliance in any field of knowledge. Tejas Vinam Aham. Whatever brilliance we enjoy does not belong to us. We have tapped from Isvara's infinite brilliance. Third, Isvara's glory is the victory of the victorious. Jaya Asmi. It is due to the Atma within that we are able to be victorious. Fourth, whatever clarity we have, it is due to Isvara's glory. Vyavasaya Asmi. This means our guna composition is predominantly sattva, sattvavatam. And we are able to enjoy this sattva guna composition due to Isvara's glory. Sattvam Aham. It is Isvara's glory alone that we appreciate and contemplate upon to discover our glories, the nature of the Atma within. Verse 37 states, first, among the Yadavas, Sri Krishna as an avatar with a physical body-mind senses was Vasudeva, and Vasudeva's glories are Isvara. Vrishninam Vasudeva Asmi. Because of the great excellence in terms of knowledge and power seen in the life of Sri Krishna, he is known to be the most exalted among the Yadavas. Second, among the Pandavas, Arjuna's glories are Isvara's. Pandavanam Aham Dhananjaya. Arjuna was considered to be the most accomplished among the Pandavas in terms of archery, logistic, etc. Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, I am you. Whatever powers and versatility that you enjoy are all Isvara's glories. It was to Arjuna that Sri Krishna taught the Bhagavad Gita because he is the most qualified. Third, among the scholars, Veda Vyasa's glories are Isvara. Muninam api aham Vyasa. Vyasa collected and compiled all the various branches of Vedas, preserved by oral tradition into 4 groups. He wrote the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sastra, thereby establishing the vision of Vedanta. Tradition holds that Lord Shiva himself was Shankaracharya and Lord Narayana was Vyasa. We salute to both of them as our link to this tradition. Fourth, among the sages, Kavi, Usana was a Kavi. He could see the 3 periods of time, the past, present and future, beyond the human intellect. Usana was the guru of the Asuras. And Usana's glories are Isvara's glories. Kavinam Usana Kavi. The Asuras always consulted Usana for advice, but they never follow. Naturally, they get into trouble. At verse 37, we shall take a break before we continue with wherever there is excellence, it is Isvara's glories. So till then, Om Namah Shivaya.